Okay, so this is the third session for the xBratAlgo Auto Trader Bootcamp, and now we're going to look at an optimization process. So first of all, you need a new chart. Just click on a new chart, and we're going to go for, I'm going to look at RTY on this example. Let's go to futures. Let's get RTY up there. So what we want is we're looking for Heikin Ashi Chart. So the xBratAlgo only works with Heikin Ashi charts. Okay, so on Heikin Ashi minute 4, okay, you can obviously look at 15 minute, 12 minute, 3 minute, even 1 minute. What I want to do is look at the groove that's with the 4 minutes to begin with, to see if I can find a decent optimization. And again, this takes a bit of trial and error to begin with, but when you load the chart, you'll see some winners and losers, and you'll get a good idea. So I'm going to look back 60 days for this 60-day rolling period is where I want to be looking at the optimizations and checking every week for this 60-day rolling period if the data is changing too much. So we're going to do 60 days price based on last Heikin Ashi minute 4, and I click OK so we get that chart going. And we now, okay, so as standard on my NinjaTrader, I get a load of indicators. We don't need the indicators, so I'm going to go on to indicators and just remove all of those because we're on a strategy. We're on an automated strategy. Let's clear the chart. Okay, so what I want to do is right click on the chart, click on strategies, double click on the xBratAlgo folder, and what we're looking for is the xBratAlgo here. So double click on that. Then you'll see down in configured xBratAlgo version 2.6. So we're on version 2.6 as I'm making this video. So all the main properties here that we've discussed in the general settings and the specific settings for xBratAlgo are all in there and all default for right now. The first thing to do is just click apply, click OK, so it's on your chart and it's in the background. So the first thing we're going to do here is we're going to take off 3 and 4 stars on the signals. I'm only really interested in 5 and 6 stars. We're going to leave everything else as it is. So the stop loss standard at 13 EMA. Long profit target, it's pretty high right now. More likely we're going to be looking at 80 or 80. So let's just change those because we're only on a 4 minute. What we're looking for, we're going to see how far those moves go. So pivot deviation is the next thing. We've got 4 digits before the decimal point here. So when we look on points here, we're going to go 0.05 for this type of instrument. Okay, we're going to go down to visuals, show pivots, because that's one of the first things we're going to check is if the pivots look right with that deviation. We're going to have a max profit here of say 1,500 and a max loss value of say minus 450 to begin with. We're going to have the trading sessions disabled. So again, from the top, we're just changing it to just 5 and 6 star longs and shorts. We're going to be looking at all the standard stuff. We're just going to check the pivot deviation 0.05, long profit, short profit targets 80 ticks, and then we just change those values for max profit, max loss to begin with. So we're going to just click apply there. Let's enable this. And again, what I like to do is rather than use the strategy analyzer, I like to look at these trades and look at the behavior and see where we're going. So first thing I'm going to do is just look at these pivots. Are the pivots correct? Let's have a look at these bigger moves. Yeah, the pivots look pretty much okay. So that's that thin blue line you'll see there, the zigzag. Major pivots are picking up, which is pretty good. there. So I'm quite happy with that. It's getting those minor pivots as well. So all in all, looks pretty stable there on the pivots. That's the first thing to do, is just make sure those pivots are good. I want to find a trade. Okay, only 31 trades on this particular time frame. But we've got to start somewhere. We've got to figure out where these trades are, what they look like, and how they... Remember, this is only 4 minutes as well. So let's just... I want to just look at... There we go. A few trades here. So what I'm going to look for initially on these trades is the behavior. You know, where were the winners, the losers, and how far away from the pivots were they, and that sort of thing. So right now we can see this here, the trade wasn't taken in for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, a lot of candles here. And again, we're going to go through that setting. Remember that bar N number of bars after the signal, but that worked out pretty well. So, you know, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. So within 15, this one pretty much triggered straight away, this short, which was good. Target's pretty good there for the shorts. Quite like that. Probably a little low there on the longs. Again, a loss on a 5-star. Eventually a loss here. Again, look at the distance this signal candle is from this pivot here. So we can dial those out a little bit. So the first thing we're going to do is we know the pivots are correct. We've checked that, but the next thing we do is look at max risk. Now with one of these, we've got max risk per trades ticks here. We're going to put that at 150 to begin with, and then we're going to work around there. So you know, that was a losing trade. That was a really big signal candle. So what we want to do is make sure we get rid of those. So we're going to put that max risk at 150 to begin with. We're just going to get some sort of loose criteria just by looking at this. But yeah, so that trade has gone now. That's sensible. Has it affected the other trades that we were getting winners? No. Okay, so 150 is a good starting point. We can see that within 15 trades, that's good. And what we want to do is look for some losers as well. That was a nice winner there. You see that short there still had a little bit of room to run. That was a little loser. I just want to see if there's a pattern with the losers that we can identify. You know, distance away from pivots, that sort of thing. No, it's probably just time of the day. I just want to bunch up some more and go and find some more trades. Some more trades here. Okay. Distance is okay. So what I want to do is just get on the strategy performance report now. The first time I just wanted to get that distance away from pivot, something like right. Okay, so we've got a profit factor of 0.9. Anything over 0.8 is a good starting point. We've got 63 trades in there, and what we need to do now is filter those losing trades out. So one of the first things we've got to do is we're just going to right click and export this. Okay, so we've got a starting point. We're in a loss right now, massive max drawdown, small profit factor, but that's our starting point. The next thing we want to look at is the analysis. So we can see that actually during August it was pretty poor. It's the summer, it's what it is. But you know, once the summer is over, they'll be back to normal. But what we need to do is, first of all, is there a day of the week where it's particularly good? Yes, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Okay, which is pretty good. We also need to look at the hours of the day. Okay, so we can see that this time is very, very good. This time, you know, around the 3 p.m., around the 6 p.m. is good. Not really interested in that. All these little two. This is really interesting here. So we've got some times of the day, the days of the week, where we can start to narrow down that field, if you like. Take away a lot of these losing times of the day where we don't want to trade this particular strategy on this particular time frame. I'm not saying it's the correct time frame. All I'm doing is running through a process that you will do for different time frames to try and figure out a really high probability trading strategy. Now these are, remember, xBratAlgo is day trading, not really scalping. And what you're looking for over a 60-day period is maybe only 16 trades during that 60-day period, but a very high probability. And you may only average one or less than trades per day, because it's not scalping, it's day trading. It's very particular because xBratAlgo, as we went through in the earlier bootcamp sessions, really grades the trades. So we're looking for specific criteria. So I'm just going to take a note of these. So really sort of 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. is pretty good. 9 a.m. probably to 9:30 before the open, but we can mess around with that. 3 to 4 p.m. Maybe sort of 5:30 to 6 p.m. So we've got some rough time slots. Again, when we click on the analysis, we can see good days of the week to trade. Obviously Friday is not a good day right now, but Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. And one caveat with this is things feel a little different during the summer, and we need to track the starting point of this and re-optimize. Have a look at the performance every week and maybe re-optimize, because you will get periods where things are flat and markets aren't behaving. So let's go and first of all go through those filters and filter out these days and these times of the day, so we can do that. But one of the first things I do before we go to days, I'm just going to put the time slots in just to see if it affects these days of the week. So let's go through that now. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to do is we can just disable the strategy for a little bit. And we're going to scroll down and we're going to go to trading sessions mode. I'm going to go all days for now. I'm just going to put these time slots in just to see if there's one of those red days. If we change the time slots, becomes green. So let's put these in. We've got a 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Do not forget to change this. Make sure we're AM to AM here. Remember, we had 80 and 80 on those short and long profit targets, which seemed pretty good actually. Then we're going to put the next time slot is 9 to 9:30. I don't want anything going in during that volatile time. Could be wrong. So we're perhaps going to go 9 a.m. In fact, I'm going to go 8:45 a.m. to 9:30 p.m. We can adjust these. We need AM. Apologies. Changing those targets now. Maximum flatten at the end of the session. I'm leaving off, okay, because these are in morning. They'll be over and done with by then. 3 to 4 p.m. I'm going to leave the flatten at the end of the session off this as well, because I like to carry some of these over if they're really running. Just change those targets again. And then the final session, 5:30 to 6 p.m. We'll do 6:30. So in fact, we'll do 6:45. They're both PMs. So this is the first filtration really. Although we did identify certain days of the week that were bad, that's because we had some really bad trades, but they may not have been in this particular zone of time. So the first thing I want to do is go on all days. Between the times of the day that we identified were really good, just click apply there. That's the only thing I've changed, and then we're going to run that again. And the idea here is just to check to see if one of those red days is actually a green day now, because we've only selected to trade between certain days, certain times, sorry. So strategy performance report now should be better. Okay, and that's now in profit. There's profit factor is 1.96, $1,500 profit in that 60-day period. 27 trades, not bad. Max drawdown $439, so we're still touching that that max loss, I think. Average winning trade $323, average losing trade $97. We've got something good going here. Largest losing trade 219, largest winning trade 394. So this is all, you know, this is pretty good. We've only made one change at the moment. We can get this better. So we export that because that's our next iteration. That's what we've got to beat now. So what we're going to do then is have a look at the analysis and now look at the days of the week here. Friday's still bad, but Sunday and Monday's good. Okay, Thursday's pretty nothing really, but Friday's bad. So we've got an extra day trading here. To be honest, Thursday's probably not worth the risk. What we want to concentrate on is Sunday, Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday. Let's just check those hours of the day. Okay, we've got some trades here that aren't quite right, so I think I may have got the times wrong, and this is a good check here. So 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. I shouldn't be trading. So let's just check that strategy before we do anything else, because that's set up with some red flags. I just want to make sure I've got those times and those AMs and PMs together. So 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. Oh, you okay? Yeah, they're fine. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do now is we're going to put these on select days, these particular time slots. So the easiest thing for me to do I'm just going to write these down. Okay, so we're going to change it from all days to select days. Okay, so we're doing Sunday to Wednesday inclusive. So we're going to change these Sunday to Sunday, and we obviously don't want the AMs, do we? We only really want the 5:30 p.m. to 6:45 p.m. Remember, we said that 80 was a pretty good target for both. Okay, so that's Sunday out of the way. We're only going to do one time slot there. And then we got the others. So we've got Monday first. We've got the 6 to 7 a.m. Important, you're not going to PM, otherwise it will really screw the figures up. 80. Okay, and then I'm going to change that to Monday again because we've got some other time slots to put in here. Got 8:45 to 9:30 a.m. So I'm going to just do this for Monday, then I'll pause the video and just do the rest off screen just to save a little bit of time on the video. And so that's 2 zones on Monday. We've got 2 more to go. The next one was 3 to 4 p.m. To 4 p.m. Monday to Monday. 80. Now, there are other ways to do this if you just want to be looking at longs or shorts. If you don't want to take long trades between a certain time frame, just put 0 and it just will not trade longs during on that between 3 and 4 p.m. for example. If you put 0 there, it just would not trade the longs. So that's and then the last one on the Monday is 5:30 to 6:45 p.m. Just change those 2. Okay, just going to pause the video there and get Tuesday and Wednesdays out and done. Okay, so all of those are done now for Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. 2 of the 15 slots still spare. And again, we've drilled right down into this now. So we're just going to make sure that every day is Tuesday to Tuesday or Wednesday to Wednesday. The PMs and the AMs match up, so we are good to go. We click apply. And let's give this a run. Okay, so strategy performance report is the first thing to go to. Okay, so we've got a better profit factor, slightly less profit, but a better profit factor. The max drawdown is increased slightly as well, so we're a little bit out of sync somewhere. Average winning trade 305, average losing trade 93. So actually that to me that's looking better. If I just bring that previous spreadsheet over, we 323.97, largest winning 394, 219. So on here we have 305 average winning trade, 93 average losing trade, 394 and 219 are the same. So let's just have a look at the analysis. Have we done something wrong somewhere? Great equity curve. Didn't do a lot of growing in August, but that's the summer. Hour of the day. We've got a 10 p.m. there that I don't like. And we've got a 6 a.m. there as well. So we may have to change this particular. Let's look at the days of the week. Are we good? We're good with that. But I think the hour of the day, I'm going to look at half hour of the day and see where we are here. So a 6:30. I reckon we just switch those 6:30 a.m.s off to begin with and see where we go. So let's just go back to the summary. Let's right click export. So we've got a next sort of. So what I want to do now, that 6 a.m. to 7 a.m. isn't really setting the world on fire. So I'm just going to go through. So Monday, right, okay. So this is where we got a bit of a mistake here. 7 a.m. didn't look right, did it? Oh. Six a.m. to 7 a.m. Okay. shouldn't make that much difference really, but there was one that was out. Let's make sure all the rest before we go back in. Okay, see if that makes a bit of a difference. Okay, that's added an extra $400 profit there. We've gone back. I just made that one mistake, and that's important. The max drawdown's gone down from 539 to 437. We're 1800 net profit. Profit factor is 2.75. We're still not there, I don't think, at the moment. We're good on the average winning trade of 315, average losing trade 93. So everything is as we'd expect. Let's just export that now. So the next thing to do is look at the behavior of the winning and the losing trades to see if we've got the right targets. Now, we have a lot of days, but there wasn't a great deal of trades in August, you know, and that's because I'm doing this just as the summer's ending. Well, first of all, we got a good winning trade there. Target was hit, so 80 ticks seems to be the right trade. So this short didn't make it. This was a Sunday night, I think. Didn't really get going. Took out a trading stop, almost break even. A tighter trading stop would have worked out a little bit better there. Another short didn't work here in the evening session, which was a 5-star. Again, it's about looking at the time of the day, figuring out where there's any behavior that you could change with some of the filters. You see in the afternoon session here, 6-star sell, we had a great trade, and the target of 80 ticks was a good target. You know, so some of the takeaways we can get here is, yeah, we've got a profitable strategy. Target seems to be the right sort of target. We're not taking these really monstrous trades with these big moves. Another short trade in the afternoon here, good, hit target, fantastic. Again, it's about looking at the winners and the losers, looking at the behaviors, anything we can change. Yeah, we could have got a little bit more out of this, but you know, in reality, the targets have been hit on the other ones, so you know, that was a good trade. This one could have gone a lot further as well, this long. So we need to be aware of this. Now, one of the things we could do here is extend that that target, but make the trailing stop EMA a lot tighter. So some of the ones that did move really quickly, if it came back against us, we'd still take that profit. So we're 80 ticks there, so we could change it to maybe 100 ticks to begin with, just to see what that's like. We've got that new spreadsheet, so let's just change that target for longs, okay, not for shorts, because we haven't seen anything that's going to tell us that we need to lock a lot bigger targets on shorts. So what we need to do is we need to go through each one of these, and for the long profit targets we'll put 100. So we're only changing one thing at a time. At the moment we're still optimizing targets within those days and times of days, and we're only looking at extending that target for longs for now, just to see, and we'll know if we've gone too far because the performance report will be out. So we've changed all the targets now to 100 on the longs. Just click apply there, and then we're going to go to the top enable and see what difference that has made. Now it's laborious, and some people say, why don't you use a strategy analyzer? Because I need to see the behavior for myself, and this is why it takes a little longer doing it this way, but it's more accurate. So we still reached that target there, which is still good. Let's look at that strategy performance. Has it made a difference in our favor? It's actually worse off. So we're actually making less profit because we've increased that target. So in these two instances, it was better, but in a lot of others, you know, it just wasn't. We've lost $300 profit there. The profit factor's gone down. The drawdowns remain the same, so all we've done is affected those profitable trades. A couple of things we can do here. We can tend it back to that 80 ticks, which I think is probably the reasonable thing to do. But one of the things we can try first is to see if adjusting for a tighter trailing stop on the EMA could work. So we're just going to try that first. Remember, 13 is pretty tight anyway. But we can go to, say, 5 on the stop loss EMA here, for example. So to give those ones that run a better chance of making more money and running, but also those ones that don't, where we lost that $300 profit, is to keep a tighter trading stop. So if it does come back against it a little bit, we take that profit sooner. So let's apply there and just see if that makes that change. So we get those ones that can run, and we protect some more profits with a trading stop on the others. Now this, you know, it could be the wrong way, but you need to change one thing at a time just to see if that works. That's gone the wrong way. Total net profit 959. So again, what we've found out here is adjusting that EMA down, actually the more aggressive approach to managing these trades is the wrong way to go. So what we're going to do is just go the other way, just to make sure on the trading stop, and we're going to change that 5. The 13 was the default, because that's where we suggest you should start. But now I'm just going to put that at 21, which is another favorite EMA of mine. And we can see if that makes a difference. So being more conservative this time, does that make a difference? Let's have a look. Okay, so strategy performance report. You know, it may turn out that 13 is the way to go, and we just need to put yes. Okay, so we're still worse off. So 13 is the correct way to go, and 80 is the target. We tried, and what you're doing is optimizations. You're adjusting a little bit at a time just to find out the sweet spot. Sometimes when you go too far, you've gone you've gone too far from those results, and you can just step it back to the previous step, and that's your optimization. So what we're going to do first is we're going to put that back to 13, and we're going to adjust these long profit targets back to 80. We tried, it didn't work, so we know that these targets overall over that 60-day period are, you know, 80 is the way to go, not 1,800, just 80. So it's just a process to go through, and you know, no matter what instrument, on what time frames. Now some time frames just won't be in the groove and you won't be able to find anything. The best thing to do is start on the time frames that you use on a daily basis for manual trading, and look at those, not forgetting though it's only on Heikin Ashi with the xBratAlgo. So we've gone through a process. I mean, to be honest, sometimes you just get lucky and find the right target, you know, profit target in ticks. You know, the reason for me is 8 has always been a pretty good target for a move on the xBratAlgo, you know, within sort of 3 to 5 minute time frames, because I've been doing this a while. So, you know, a little bit of luck, but also a little bit of knowledge goes a long way. So let's click apply now. So we are back to where we're beginning, where we were. I just want to check that because now I've got to a start adjusting a few other things. I want to find a few more losing trades if I can, just to see if there's something I can learn from those. So let's just check this is back at the $1,806, just to make sure we've made all the, yes, okay, so we're back to where we were. Decent strategy, don't get me wrong. The win rate is poor, but the reason why it's still in profit is purely because average winning trade is $315 compared to $94 losing trade. So what we do is we're being quite aggressive and staying safe with that this strategy. So when the winners win, they win big, than those losers that were cutting off quite quickly. I'll have to apologise. I'm actually recording this in my office, but I've got a little puppy snoring his head off underneath my desk, but that's real life. So now we just want to see, I want to find some losing trades. We know this is a one-off that continued to run because we've tried to change those target levels and it just didn't work. So the thing for me to do now is just try and find some losing trades. I want to see if there's anything we can do to reduce that drawdown. Okay, so in this particular case here, the target wasn't met, and that short actually came in at 1804, 1808, yeah. Again, we can just change the time slot here, but that's one trick, if you like. What we did get is two small losing trades here. They weren't massive because you can see the trade stop took them out, but they were still losing. So it's two consecutive losing trades. If the next trade is a losing trade, no, it wasn't. It was a winner slightly. Then we had a loser. But what we can look at is this is the same day. No, we got one this day. We got one loser, two losers that day, three losers that day. No, that's the next day as well. Okay, so we're only, when we get in, they're small losers, but they all add up. The thing to do is see if you can find a pattern with those losers. As a small winner, didn't reach the target, but it was a winner. Took a trailing stop, took the profit there, which it's designed to do. We're getting losers outside of the trading zone. You see the grey at the bottom here. We're taking some trades here that aren't quite working, that shouldn't be there. Well, it's the second instance I've seen that. So I just need to check those times again. I know why. We've had signals here and it's gone N bars across. This is where, okay, so what we're going to do here is we want to restrict the amount of candles to say 15. So we want the order to expire after say 15 candles. In fact, yeah, let's put 15. Okay, this may make a difference because some of these are being taken much further on in the session, and this is why, because the orders came in in between those grey periods. But when expiry entry after M bars is 0, that means it can take it in any time later on, which is not good. You need to restrict that entry. So let's have a look at that now. That trade's not there. Okay. So now if we look at the strategy performance report, we've got a better net profit. We've got a smaller drawdown. The profit factor's gone from 2.75 to 3.29. So restricting the amount of candles that we can take that order to 15 or less is actually made a massive difference. We've only got 17 trades compared to 20 trades, so we've reduced those ones that you know, those losing trades. We've reduced the max drawdown. So let's export that now. Again, another filtration system there. That, you know, we've got rid of some of those losing trades that were just being taken in way too long after the signal, and that expiry after M bars is very crucial. I mean, to be honest. And we'll try something here in a minute. I mean, that's a great winner there. Let's just have a look at this and say it's got to do it the bar after, okay? Just for argument's sake. So the moment we've got expiry entry after M bars 15, what if we put that to 1? So the next candle has to breach the entry, the order, or it gets cancelled. What difference does that make? So this is very aggressive, and this is something you may want to consider with the xBratAlgo, is that if that momentum is going to continue, it needs to continue immediately, not in 15 or 10 candles time after a pullback. We want it to go immediate. So this is just another option. You know, what does it do? I mean, in some instances it might make not a lot of difference, but you know, I mean, that trade's still there. So now we have not got a lot of profit. Okay, so actually changing that to 1 in this circumstance on this time frame is not good. 15 probably is the best way to go. I just wanted to show you that, just for, you know, for the argument's sake of what would happen. So it makes a big difference. So I'm going to change that back to 15. Okay, let's go back onto the chart now. Just want to look at some more losers to see if we can learn anything. And maybe now see if we can learn anything from the winners as well. Again, strategy optimizer is great, but really need to understand the behavior around these trades, winners and losers. There we go, we've got a loser here. So let's just click on F. I mean, we could, I mean, the distance from the pivot is quite long here for that losing trade. So we could potentially look for a smaller max risk, which we can try that. So we'll go to strategies and we'll probably change that to maybe 120 and see if that makes a difference to the performance report. It may get rid of some of these losers where we've just gone too long from the pivot. So the moment we're 150, we're going to start at 120 and work around that just to see if that makes a difference as well. But it's about safety as well. We've got to say, you know, something that's gone 200 ticks from a pivot, is it likely to continue for another 80 ticks? And that's what you've got to have in your mind there. This one was still taken at 120. How did it affect the performance report by actually going down? It considerably, a lot of difference. We've gone from $1,900 profit to $1,100. So, you know, that's gone the wrong way. So 150 was probably pretty good. But again, you don't know until you try, and that's part of optimization. Sometimes not every single change you make will make a difference for the good. Just for argument's sake, I'm just going to go 20 ticks above that 150 just to see what happens here. Do we get some more trades that are good, or does it make a negative effect? That way we've gone either side and we can say we've got a good distance from there. It's also about the drawdown as well. So that's not made any difference whatsoever. So I think 150 is a sweet spot there. So I'm going to go back to 150. And then we're going to look at the max profit and things like that. So we're going to just put that back at 150. So what we said was 1500 daily profit on this with a max loss of minus 450. I can see we've probably hit the max loss a couple of times, and we're going to try and find a couple of those. I don't think we've hit the max profit at all. So what I'm going to do is just change that to 1,000 now. I'm not going to change the max loss for now. What I'm going to do is just run that again with a change of max profit. I'm just going to find some instances, if we can, of the max loss, max profit. If we can't, and then we can adjust that and hopefully bring that drawdown lower. Okay, so there was no max losses there, which in a sense is a good thing, but really I think we're leaving some of those losers on the table too long. So what we're going to do is, in that 60-day period we didn't have a max loss, and I like to see a max loss hit for protection. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take that down to 350 and see how that affects everything. Because once things start to go against you, they may go against you quite quickly and not recover. We need to find that balance though. So minus 350 is where we're going to go to next. I want to draw. I mean, the drawdown's not bad at $415, but I would like to get that under $300 if I could. You know, this is one contract of RTY. It needs to be as low as possible, really. Okay, so I can see a bit of red there. So we've got a max loss here. Remember from your earlier sessions, that's what that means. So, you know, in reality, we have hit a max loss at least once. Not too many times, but we need to see now how that has affected the strategy performance report, if at all. Okay, so that has not affected anything right now, so we may be able to go a little lower. Maybe down to minus 300. Perfect. So we've changed the max loss down to minus 300. We're actually making more profit because we're hitting some max losses and reducing those losses. The max drawdown has gone from $415 to $331. So we're on the right track here. Still 17 trades, still only a 52% win rate here, purely because of the summer. When I'm making these videos, at the end of the summer. But we see that the average winning trade is $315, where the average losing trade is $97. So we're being quite tight there. Largest losing trade only $151. Now largest winning trade nearly $400. So we're going in the right direction. I think we just need to go a little bit more, but I've got to right click on export this, so we've got it next to compare, and then we're going to go down probably to 250 on that max draw, on that max loss for the day. Okay, so no real change at minus 250. So we're going to go pretty extreme here and go minus 200 and see what difference that makes. Okay, that's a little better. We've got my target. I'm over, sorry, my profit factor is 4.63. The max drawdown is minus 281. That's really good. We've lost a couple of the trades there. It's only 15 trades. So we're only averaging 0.4 trades a day, but they're highly profitable. Average losing trade is only $86 now, where the average winning trade is $350. Max consecutive winners 4, max consecutive losers 3, and they're on the short trades. The long trades have been doing a lot better. So we are getting pretty close, but we can have a look now. Look at that total net profit, it's even more as well. So it's up a couple $100 as well. So let's export this, and we'll do some more changes now to the max profit. Okay, so the only things we've got left to do now is a couple of things to do with profit. So daily strategy profit amount is at $1,000, which is 5 times that of the max loss value. So probably a little too high. We're not getting any max profits. So what we're going to do, I'm going to take that 3 times to 600. And have a starting point to see if it actually, because what we're looking at as well is there may be a call for, once you get to $600 a day, you're happy with that, and you actually, because you've stopped trading, some later trades may go against you. You will only know that if you optimize. So what we're going to do is just see if that actually works. So let's go down. I mean, we will, when we're looking back, see those blue bars on there on the top of the sub chart to see if we get any max sort of profits for there. So there's a max loss. No, we're not getting any, I don't think, at the moment. So, you know, we're not making that much inroads into that. So have a look at the strategy performance report. I don't think that would have changed yet. Nope. Okay. In some instances, this doesn't make a difference. In others, it does. You just got to go through the process. So I'm going to put that at $500. Okay, this is for one contract. Don't forget, if you're trading more contracts, you're going to have to adjust these values. You know, if you were trading 2 contracts here, you'd be at minus 400, and for the max loss. So this is the daily strategy amount. Remember, we have our largest winning trade at $394. So what we're saying is if we have one of those max winning trades plus a little bit more, it'll just take us out of the trade. You know, is 500 enough? I mean, it may even be down as low as 450 to make a big difference. That's made no difference whatsoever. So again, we've got to adjust again. We keep adjusting down until we make a difference, right or wrong. I'm going to go to 450 now. Still no difference. Okay, so we're going to go no more than 400 because we know our largest winning trade is 394. And if we're only getting one of those a day, that's fine. If we get more, it'll just take us out max profit and we're good. So I'm only going to go down as low as as much as 400 because in these last 60 days we've not made more than 400 a day, which is fine because the summer, it really is tough for trading. There's less volume. Okay, so this is the last thing I'm going to do because really the largest winning trade is just below this max profit. Don't want to eke into that. What I want to make sure is if in the future we reach over 400 that we're taking profit, because in the past we've never done that. So there's no change there as well. So I think that's a good setting. We have a reasonably good strategy now. It's on the 4-minute Heikin Ashi RTY. One of the last things I want to talk about here is the total number of winners and losers. So if I just connect that. So remember, we've got max consecutive losers 3, and that's on short trades. On long trades, it's only 1. So one of the things we can do here is max number of losses. Okay, so we could look at this as consecutive per day, and we could say, actually, let's put that at 2, because those shorts really are affecting. Although we've got a great performance report, we only get 1 consecutive loser on the longs. So by just putting this consecutive losers per day on shorts, we may be able to get some of those losers in with this particular filter. Just click enable and let's see what it does. Again, all those filters are there, but some of them won't make a difference. If those max 3 consecutive losers were over a couple of days, then this won't affect it, obviously. Shorts, no, that doesn't affect it at all. I'm going to try one more thing and put it to 1. If this doesn't make a difference, I'll put it back to 2 and leave that as a safety net. That actually makes a difference in the right way. Okay, so that actually, we are now at 2274 the profit factor has gone up to 5.34 from 4.63. And what the difference it's made is not to the long trades, but to the short trades. So that profit factor has gone from 2.51 to 3 on short trades now. We've reduced the amount of trades by 1, but what it does is stops those consecutive losers on the shorts. So if we get one loser in a day, and then we just don't want any more, so it just will stop trading. So this is what we have right now. We have, we've taken just a little over an hour to optimize a strategy right from the beginning, looking at those that time frame, the days of the week, the times of the day, narrowing down that field, getting then through those different sort of filters to look at max loss, max profit, the distance from the pivots, all those things. You probably have to watch this a couple of times, but what we've done is we found a reasonably good strategy here. Now, not forgetting you can run about 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 different instruments here on different strategies. So you would say actually 2,274 over 60 days isn't a great deal. Now $1,200 a month from this particular strategy, but if you're running 5 or 6 different strategies, you've optimized similar, and you've got exposure to metals, to indexes, to currencies, you're going to have a reasonably good trading strategy moving forward. Now, this hasn't got the best percentage profitable. It only trades 0.37 on average a day, but when they go, they're good, strong probability. Moreover, largest winning trade, nearly $400. So we're in that realm. Average losing trade's only $87 here. Average winning trade $350. So, we know even if we've got a 50% win rate, we're going to average a lot more net positive for that. So that's just one way of doing it. Over time, I'm going to make more of these, just so you can see different ways of producing that optimization process using the xBratAlgo.